Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here and back with another video, and this one is focused on ICOs. So it's titled ICOs for Beginners, and I get a lot of questions on what ICOs are, so I'm going to take you through all the basics here. First off, I was going to give people my opinions on when getting into lending platform ICOs, but I've kind of developed this post a bit more now, and I go right from the beginning of what an ICO is to traditional ICOs to lending ones. And I'm going to continually be adding to this post. So the link to what I'm showing on my screen here, this blog post, is down below the video. Make sure you check that out. And if this is my first video you've seen, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. So basically, we start off, what is an ICO? An ICO, basically, for anyone who's completely new, it's an initial coin offering. It's an unregulated, sometimes controversial way of crowdfunding via a cryptocurrency. Similar to an IPO in the business world, it's basically a way for a company to raise funds to develop their product. So a lot of people ask, are ICOs legal? Well, in some countries, it is not legal to participate in an ICO like the USA or Singapore. Now, how strictly these rules are adhered to it varies from place to place. And how much any company or an ICO implements them varies as well. Some of them really strict ones up the top. The high tier ones, they will be very compliant. They will use a KYC, as you see here, know your customer. That's basically a banking thing where they ask you for proof of where you're from. And then you come down to the next tier where they would say they don't let US citizens or people from Singapore. Now actually, this thing might change over time. I will update the post if it does, but this is how it stands as I record this. Some of them will tell you they don't accept US or Singapore, and they might use your IP address to block you getting access to the site. But a lot of people use workarounds using a VPN, which is explained here. It's basically a plugin that you can get that makes your computer look like it's anywhere in the world you want. One that I personally use is TunnelBear. I'll put a link there if anyone wants to check it out. So then you also have sites that say they don't let US or Singapore members, but then they don't actually implement it. And then you have the bottom level where they don't bother saying anything at all. And a lot of the lending platforms come into that side of things. So what to consider before jumping in? ICOs are risky. Lending ICOs are on another level of risk, and you just have to be willing to accept the risk if you're going to get involved. Look, they're very risky, but there's also huge rewards. If you look at Coin right now, it's trading at $55 as I record this video. We all got into the ICO below $1, so that is the potential. That was only 2 months ago. Things to consider: security. Never use the same password with every ICO. If you're getting into multiple ones, use different passwords. Some people use different email addresses, different passwords, everything like that. I have a few email addresses that I use and then generally have different passwords for each. Google Authenticator, which is this image here. If a system offers it, which most should now, then implement Google 2FA. Basically, it's where you sync it up to their site, they give you a barcode, you scan the code, and then it starts generating random 6-digit codes on your phone. When you go to log into the ICO website, they will ask you for this. It's another way to protect whatever you have on the site, because with some ICOs, you preload your Bitcoin or you're storing the coins that you've bought on the site, so you want that to be secure. Types of coins is another thing to consider. Basically, you're going to come across 2 types of coins. There's going to be an ERC20 token, which is basically a token that is created on the Ethereum blockchain. I do like ERC20 tokens. With the ERC20 tokens, you can pull out them coins into an ERC20 compatible wallet, normally at any time that you want. The most common one is My Ether wallet. You will see some people calling it Mew. As well as that, when you're funding, I talk about this a little bit further down, when you're funding an ICO, if they're using a smart contract for the distribution of the tokens and they tell you to use an ERC20 compatible wallet, make sure you do that, because whatever wallet you send the funds from, then it's going to send back the coins to that same address. So if you use an Ethereum wallet that isn't ERC20 compatible, then your coins might get lost. So the other one is then where they create their own blockchain. Sometimes they will create a fork of another coin, which is just basically where they copy the code from another coin, and then they fork off and add on their own take onto it. So with their own blockchain, you should be able to see their own blockchain, usually through their block explorer, which I explain later as well. I will do a full video going through the differences in ERC20 and blockchain at a later date. I'll also do a full post as well. So this here is just talking about funding methods. So most ICOs, I think every ICO accepts Bitcoin. Some of them only accept Bitcoin, and then others accept Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're now seeing Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash being accepted by some. Personally, I like ones that accept Ethereum because Ethereum is cheaper at the minute than Bitcoin to send in, and it's quicker. That's the funding, and I talk about the ERC20. Make sure if you're buying through the smart contract that you use an ERC20 compatible wallet. So other terms that might be useful, and this here will be expanded. If there's anything that you're not sure of that you would like me to add to this, put it in the comments on the blog post, because that's the easiest place for me to get it and add in the details here. So Block Explorer, this is where you can view all the transactions of a coin. So blockexplorer.com is one where you can see Bitcoin, you can see all the transactions that are going through the blockchain. So any new coin should have their own Block Explorer as well. Some will tell you that it's on testing servers and they can't show you during the ICO, but in general you should be able to see it. Mu is my Ether wallet, which is the ERC20 compatible. ERC20 we have talked about. FUD, this you will see a lot during an ICO, especially the lending ones where there's a fear that people are going to run away. Fear, doubt, uncertainty. You will get a lot of this, the ICOs, when things aren't going right, and it can have a big effect on the price. So I would say try not to be one of the people that's spreading FUD, because at the end of the day you're only going to pull down the price of the coin. Sit back, take a breath, and just take it all in. FOMO is the fear of missing out, and this can be the difference in an ICO skyrocketing and one failing, is that if it starts to get attention, it can be like the snowball effect, where the snowball starts at the top and as it goes it picks up speed and gets bigger and bigger. This is what we can see with ICOs. When people think they are missing out, they try and jump in, and it can take the ICO to a new level. So what I look for in an ICO. So we'll start first with traditional ICOs. So these are a bit different than the lending ones. Traditional ICOs are ones where you normally have the physical company, where you see the team, you see everything like that, and they're not as risky as lending, but they are still risky because at the end of the day, you are funding the company to get started and to develop their product. So look at their product. What is it? Is the tech they're using, or are they creating innovative? What's the team like? What's their history? Are there any popular faces on their board of advisors? So normally you will see the team and then you will see their board of advisors, and they try and bring in famous faces from the ICO world in there. So take a look at that. The market competition. So is the market they're looking at crowded? Do they have a unique competitive advantage, or why do they say that they will be different? Do they already have their Block Explorer on their wallets? As I say, way up here with the Block Explorer, do they already have it? Can you look at it? Can you see the transactions? Do they have their wallets? Because if they don't have their wallets, then it means that you will have to store your coins on their website until they have their wallets available. Is it an ERC20 token that can be withdrawn to your ERC20 wallet? So I've got into a lot of ICOs that were ERC20 tokens, and I have them sitting in my Ether wallet now. Hype is something else I look at. So are there a lot of people talking about the ICO and what they're bringing? Bit of a spiel there on, look, some people won't agree with it, but I think that hype is needed in an ICO if it's going to succeed. Not just in the lending one, well, especially in the lending ones, but even in traditional. You need people talking about it. You need them to create a community. You look at Electronium, what they've done. They created this huge community, and that is what is driving the price up there, because in reality we haven't seen anything from their tech yet. It is just the community driving the price up. So that is a factor to take into consideration. Lending platforms, what are they? So a lending platform is something like BitConnect or Devourcoin, where basically you can buy coins from them. The coin price can go up and down, and then you lend with them. So basically with the lending, you are giving them your coins, and in general, they're giving you the USD value of that coin on that day and placing the loan, and then they pay you daily interest going forward. So at the minute, I have a $25,000 loan with Devourcoin, and they are paying me about 1.5 to 2% interest daily on that. So what they say, a lot of these lending platforms, look, there are probably 100 of them at this stage. Some of them say they trade with bots, some say their teams do it. In reality, we don't really know what they do behind the scenes. We'll probably see that in time, what's really going on there. So this is what I look at for a lending platform. So obviously some of the above, and then these ones here. Are they just a lending platform? What else do they offer? Sometimes a lending platform on its own can be good enough. That is all really that Devourcoin is, and it is skyrocketing. The same with BitConnect. That's all it is. But there's other ones out there that are looking to bring new features as well. Is it an ERC20 token, its own blockchain? As I explained up above, you look at different things depending on what it is. Is the team visible? Look, most lending platforms, 99% of them do not show their team at all. And it's something that we've come to accept in this, I suppose, this specific niche within ICOs. Does the white paper make sense? And do they understand cryptocurrency? So I've read so many of them now, and if you actually look at the white papers, if you compare a traditional ICO to a lending one, the lending ones are a bit of a joke, but even within them, there are good ones and bad ones. Some of them will, if you read through them and you understand cryptocurrency, you will see that whoever wrote it does not understand cryptocurrency at all. Some people completely plagiarize the white paper as well. They just copy from other sites or other platforms that have done well. One example, easy example is, I've seen white papers saying that they're going to get onto Ether Delta, to the Ether Delta exchange, but they have their own blockchain. They don't realize that to get on Ether Delta, you need to be an ERC20 token. So I have caught out a few of them like that. They have changed it fairly quick, but it's something to look out for. So how does the site look? Is it good quality, or is it just some of these crappy templates that's thrown together, something that a 10-year-old would put together and fire up on the internet? Because that is what we're seeing a lot of lately, is poorly done websites on crap servers that just fall over. So take all that into consideration. There will be lots of people out there on YouTube like myself that go through these ICOs and give our opinion. That's all that it ever is though. I'm not a financial advisor. I give you my opinion on it and show you my research on why or why not I am going into an ICO. So use that as part of your own due diligence. Always do your own research as well. So how long is the ICO going to be? When do they plan to hit an exchange? As your coins or tokens will be locked until they actually open their internal exchange, open their lending, or until they hit an external exchange. Do they allow withdrawals during the ICO? So with a lot of the ICOs, you preload your account, and we have seen with lots of them where they lock the Bitcoin, do not allow withdrawals until the ICO is finished. So that is kind of what is in the post at the minute. By the time you're reading this blog post, it may have grown even longer, because anyone who comes up with any information or questions, I will add them in, and hopefully this has been a help to you. It has given you an insight into ICOs, generally what I look for in terms of ICOs as well, and that it will help you avoid some of the bad ones and hopefully get into some of the really good ICOs that are out there. Look, 2018 is going to bring a big change to ICOs. I feel things are going to we're going to see a lot more regulation and rules coming into them. What exactly is coming, we don't know. We will just have to wait and see. So do me a favor, guys, if you got value from this video, please give it a share. Help other people learn about ICOs so they can do things right rather than falling for some of the cheap mistakes that I have highlighted here. So thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a like, share the video, the blog post if you can. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.